rights. Welcome to episode 133. Fire. The pub is open. So many things. So many things. On a week I didn't even work, and so many things. Just first of all, I had to have no Queen updates. Nobody was doing nothing. No. Reba finished a big tour. Congratulations to Reba. And I think there was Tay-Tay's breakup. Oh. Everybody's just saying, I hope she's not too sad to do her shows. Oh, I think she'll be fine. I think she will be absolutely fine. She got the love song out? Yep. Oh. Well, I'm going to read in a minute, speaking of music, the people that were at Coachella, because the list makes me laugh because I only know 2 people. Out of like hundreds. I'm not going to read all the hundreds, but my friend Bronson went, and I haven't gotten the review yet. I'm never going to the desert outside for any, and even if Stevie Nicks was there, I am not going outside. I will go inside in Palm Springs if she's in the desert in a casino. But I am not going to, and Bronson's whiter than me, and I'm totally didn't care. I sounded like his mother. I'm like, take sunblock, stay hydrated. I said, because if you get sick and die out there, I'm not coming to get your body. I will not come to the desert. And I will not tell your family in St. Louis where you are. I'll keep it a secret. Anyway. Bring me back a Bjork t-shirt. There's I know, he was so excited about Bjork. I'm like, oh. And I looked her up. She's my age. Yeah. And I'm like, well, good for her. You're headlining, or I don't know what spot she had in the lineup. And then I had to look up her music, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really know any of these by heart. No, like I vaguely remember. I know she's super weird. She's from Iceland. I mean, you're going to be probably a little left field. Yeah. I mean, I thought she was different and creative, but anyway.
Human Behavior. Just wonderful song.
Human Behavior?
Yeah, I think it came out
all right.
in the 90s.
Paddles votes for that. Speaking of paddles, you got a koozie, and it said, I'm on it, and do it. It's nice. And it says it's in the schnotes. This is from a termite that came in the mail, since I haven't had a show in a week. This is from Becca, and this is a Bigfoot pillow, and he's carrying a box of wine, and then he's going to the house. Cool. And I'm going to put it next to my Loch Ness Monster pillow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Becca.
Thank you, Becca. Yeah. Yes. We'll toss that over there for now. And then,
koozie.
You went to koozie?
Yeah.
Here. Oh, perfect throw. That was not easy. Nope. Then somebody made this card, Mama Termite. It's from Tracy. Wow. Her 18-year-old daughter, Maggie, drew the termite. Well, it's better than anything I've come up with for shirts or anything. Totally. She became a fan after hearing the joke about the post office. I still love the post office, and I still love my joke. Yeah. And I stand by that joke. Mm-hmm. You tell me who else would do what they do for whatever a stamp is now, 56 cents? I don't even know. $6.59? It
should be more.
It should be. It should be like $10 to take something to fucking Alaska. Yeah. She's a rural mail carrier in South Bend, Indiana. I also do buying and reselling online as a side hustle. Love the Pubcast.
58 cents.
58 cents. Yep. Okay, see, I appreciate it. Yep. She got me some Bigfoot earrings. They're adorable. Nice. The show wouldn't be the same without you, Paddles, this lady says. Yeah, even though they can't see you. She gave me that, and then look at these little tiny shoes that say Baby Shoe Madigan.
Oh my God.
I know, and they're green like leprechaun shoes. Cool. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going to put these, somewhere downstairs. But I like that it's, wow, I did that. Sorry. God dang. One mistake.
Be careful.
One mistake. Anyway, thank you to Tracy and Becca. Now, let's do what we're trying before we're going to talk about what we're drinking.
Okay.
Because it could be controversial, which is something I am not usually. Nope. But people have asked what I think, so I'll say what I think. First, we're going to be trying something my mom will not be able to wait to get to. It's Hershey's popping candy with white cream and sprinkles. So it's like a Hershey bar. Yeah. It's gross. It's like
sweet
bad white chocolate. Like they were going for white chocolate. And that Hershey's, that one's a miss. You'll laugh about that a year from now at another meeting. Remember when we did the candy, the cake that was candy that wasn't? Yeah.
Who did we fool?
Yeah.
Kathleen Madigan.
Because I was in St. Louis for the wedding, I did get baby back rib potato chips.
Nice.
Herr's, that's from Pennsylvania, but they make them, and they sell them at every gas station in St. Louis. They're good.
Ribs.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a little sweeter than normal barbecue chips. A little sweeter.
Do they taste like St. Louis ribs?
Not really.
No?
No, they want them to taste like St. Louis ribs, but not really. This is Durkee's Famous Sauce, sandwich and salad. It's a creamy deli spread that goes great with sandwiches and sliced meats. Adds zest to coleslaw, potato salad. Makes for a tangy sauce for meats and vegetables. This is from Iowa. But, yeah,
It's sweet, probably.
it looks sweet. Yeah. Let's see. Durkee.
It looks sweet.
Durkee. Well,
What does it look sweet?
because it's thick. Wow.
Yeah. Nope.
No, it's too tangy.
Okay.
That makes Miracle Whip seem calm.
Oh, wow.
It's very, very tangy. Yeah.
Midwest people like a tang.
So sorry, we're striking out on all that. I don't usually get into these subjects, but I'll just say a little bit.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Bud Light. Yeah, and guess what? People might be upset about Bud Light, but I guarantee you it had no effect on the wedding I attended Saturday night. Every single Bud Light in the city of St. Louis was drank by me and my cousins.
Who got married?
My cousin married one of her boys, one of the McHugh boys got married, Joey, and he has a wonderful wife, Annalise, now, as of now. And it was at this really cool place, and it started at 5:30, and I was looking at the weather reports going, okay. And then this is all my dad kept saying. Has anyone found out why we're not in a church? Nope, Dad. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. They're the children. They're hipsters. Aren't they both Catholic? Yep, they both are. For some reason, I don't know. Is a priest coming here? He couldn't get over it. I'm like, Dad, not everybody's going to get married in a church anymore. And then he was watching the ceremony, and sometimes he cocks his mouth like in this way where he's like super lawyer concerned. And I think I said to my brother, I go, he's just sitting there wondering if any of this is legal. And he's wondering, I could tell you the thoughts running through his mind. Well, now, is this man that did all that professional? Are they really married? He was very confused. I'm like, Dad, let it go. Some of the children, and I loved it because they had a buffet, no sit-down dinner bullshit. They got Sugarfire barbecue, one of the best in St. Louis. They have mac and cheese. It was just, the ceremony lasted less than 10 minutes.
Wow.
It was fantastically short.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was less. But then about an hour after being there, I was up by the front bar, which is by the front of the building, which is all glass windows, and the sky was turning green and purple and lightning bolts. Then my cousin Mary comes up and she's like, yeah, this is looking kind of crazy. And Patrick was standing there, and Pat goes, you know what, guys? Maybe we shouldn't be standing by the glass. And I go, oh, Pat, if we're not standing here, how are we going to see the lightning? Come on. Put your thinking cap on, Pat. I said, I'm not moving till I hear a siren. Well, literally, I don't even know. Maybe less than 5 minutes later, one had touched down. It wasn't a watch. It was a warning. But you could tell by this guy. So then we had to get everybody downstairs. And thankfully, there was a basement. And it was pimped out with a pool table, twister. And everybody goes, I'm not going down there unless there's a bar. Oh, my God. They said they would bring beer down there. Well, what about my one cousin's like, yeah, but what if you're drinking vodka? Is anybody bringing that down? I don't know. We'll tip somebody super great money. For $100, we'll go get so-and-so a vodka. We were down there like for an hour, though.
Wow.
And that's...
I saw your video.
I put a video of my mom doing her tornado dance because I told her, you got to turn that frown around and you get happy in them same shoes you got sat in because she's getting all cranky. I want to leave. Well, now's not the time, Mom. There's a tornado outside. Well, I can't sit down here all night. Oh, really? Where do you have to be? Where is it you need to be right now at age 81 that you need to get out of this basement?
In a hotel.
You're not leaving this basement. Just shut up and start dancing. So she did it. So then I filmed that. Yeah. It was a ton of fun. So we did drink literally all the Bud Light. Now, full disclosure, my entire family has worked at the Anheuser Busch Brewery for years and years and years. They were pipe fitters.
Thank you for your service.
It was their full-time gigs. My Uncle Neil, my Uncle Jim. My dad was down there for a while. Everybody. So I like I know they're not. I know Anheuser Busch is owned by InBev. I understand that. I got you. I got everybody. There are so many bumps along the way. So the can, now you'll see I call these coddles, can bottles. And I don't like them as much as a can, but Ron White did point out a super duper feature that they should be using in their ads. When you have the screw-on lid, if you're outside, the wind won't flat your beer.
Oh, yeah.
So, whatever. My coddle has a St. Louis Blues blue note on it. Right.
They did not make the playoffs.
They did not make the playoffs, but they still have some of those beers left. Now, if you're not up to date, Anheuser Busch put a trans woman on a can. Yep. This is how not connected I am. I watched the video of the trans woman and thought that was the lady who'd made the decision. I thought that was the VP of Bud Light. And I'm like, she's so young. Oh, my God. She must be super duper smart. Then I'm like,
it's a great video.
Wait. The video was pretty funny for what it was. But they put the trans woman, Dylan, somebody on. But then who made that decision? That's what this is where my Midwest, University of Missouri or Southern Illinois, I went to both, just general school people get mad at anything. Yeah, we're easy to fire up. But mostly the elite, the Ivy League schools, quite frankly. The woman who made this decision, her name is Alyssa Heinerschneid. Okay. Mm-hmm. She's 39 years old.
Stop it.
She went to Harvard and Wharton. You are representing Bud Light. When I hear Harvard, I don't think Bud Light. No. You need somebody from the University of Kansas or, I don't know, Iowa, Minnesota. It doesn't have to just be the Midwest, but it needs to be.
Your people.
It can't. Harvard, I don't even think beer, not even IPAs. But also, how hooked up was this chick? This is where the Midwest people get, well, not just, the non-Ivy League people get a little upset. Because she's 39 years old, and she already had some high-up job at General Mills. She has a $7 million apartment in Manhattan.
What?
Yeah.
39?
Wow. And they gave her the job to make these kind of decisions.
Okay.
Now, I'll tell you, they should give it to my cousin Maureen. That's what they should do. Well, they should have a bunch of them. I'm talking about making these decisions.
Yeah.
Because she had, she said, I had a really clear job when I took over Bud Light. How do you just get to be the VP of anything when you're 39? Somebody's parents call somebody's parents. I don't believe that. I think it's all a hookup. Bud Light has been in decline for a very long time. Here's the thing. Bud Light, Anheuser Busch made Mick Ultra. Mick Ultra ate Bud Light. Every beer has a strong decade. I remember when Michelob, straight Michelob, it was in a brown bottle with gold foil. That was super popular for like 5 years. Then they made Michelob Light, and it had silver foil on the brown bottle. Mm-hmm. And then everybody went to that. It's like a rotation. I mean, it could go all the way back to Pabst Blue Ribbon or Stag or Hamm's. Once you make another beer, Busch Light holds its own. Well, there's the funniest T-shirt ever. It just says Iowa on the front, and then the back of the T-shirt it said the answer. It's a Ray Gun shirt. The answer to who drank all the Bud Light, all the Busch Light. Iowa. Missouri loves it too. It's not even available everywhere. It doesn't matter. It's a brand. It holds on its own. It's like merch. Just make this much, and then you can count on these 3 states to drink it. And you don't need anything more.
Right.
But anyway, she was saying that you're not attracting young drinkers to come drink this brand of beer, meaning Bud Light. It's like, she said this, it's like we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that belief was, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different appeals to men and women. She said that, Bud Light had been kind of fratty. I agree.
Agreed. Yep.
A lot of guys in khakis that would look like a lot of my cousins. Kind of out of touch humor. I do think it got a little 15-year-old boyish there for a while. And it was really important that we had another approach. Now, I am fine with the trans person being on the can. Yeah. I don't understand I'm with Howard Stern. He said, I don't understand why Kid Rock would be so angry that you would go get a machine gun. Well, I'm sure he has a lot of machine guns.
Took one out of his bed.
And shoot all your own beer.
Right.
That's your beer. Just drink it. And he wasn't even that good of a shot. There were a lot of beers left on that thing. But, that was something he did that day.
Right.
You know what? This can makes me so mad. I mean, like, if this can, if they had, I don't know, somebody who had hurt people, like Charles Manson on it, but even St. Louis people would be like, well, could we just pour it in the cup? I mean,
I got a solo cup.
I mean, he's dead, right? Charles Manson? Like, he won't do it anymore, right?
Right.
But she's a Wharton and Harvard School graduate. Her jobs include General Mills and Johnson & Johnson, where she was the associate brand manager of Listerine.
Oh, man.
I just...
Listerine's for old people.
I don't picture this lady in a $7 million apartment drinking Bud Light. I think that was a mistake on their part to hire this person. And her decision...
To hire the decision maker.
The decision maker. Yeah, not the trans person. I could care less. That lady was funny enough, I thought. Well, I thought it was the CEO. That's what I thought. That's how good.
Look how pretty she is.
She's gorgeous. I just don't understand why you would get that mad at a can, like something on the can. But whatever. The people, I think Bud Light is not facing the issue that Mick Ultra ate you.
Right.
That's what happened to Bud Light.
Your twin ate your
You need to make Bud Light light. Okay? And then go one step further than Michelob Ultra. And then you'll get everybody on board here if they want something lighter than Mick Ultra. You guys screwed yourself. You made the perfect summer beer.
Yep.
And then everybody's like, I'm good. Bud Light will come back.
Yeah.
But there was also steps. If you're going to put the trans woman, totally fine with me. I know a lot of other people don't like it. Whatever. You should have put a bunch of young people.
Yeah.
If we're going for young,
Everybody.
you want the children.
Beer is for everyone.
Beer is for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I think the children should chime in. Who else should be on there?
Right.
I'm already on board. I'll drink all beer.
Right.
So you don't need to trick me into, and I do think of Bud Light. I think of me and my cousins, like, we're not young.
No.
So how do we get, a lot of the youngsters, I think, like the IPAs.
I don't like IPA.
I love one.
And
I love one IPA, but
young.
maybe two. But not more than that. It's too heavy, and I don't know, you feel drunk and stuff.
I missed the frog
In the middle of the
campaign.
day, then I need a nap. What?
The frog campaign. That was great.
The frog campaign, how old are you? That is like 100 years old. Well, I did like the frogs.
Yeah.
Stick with the Clydesdales. But I get what this lady's saying. As much as I do not think this lady should have had this job, this Alyssa Heinerschneid. And then they found all these pictures of her acting like a frat person at Harvard, like slamming beers out of beer bongs. Right. So, okay, I just think if we were going to do the trans woman, why not open it up to all kinds of young people and then avoid the controversy if you're Bud Light? I don't care that she's on the can. Totally fine with me. But you're going to cause a lot of trouble. Now, maybe that's what this lady wanted. Maybe she wanted all the chitter-chatter. Maybe she wanted all the controversy. Maybe Kid Rock and those people played right into her hand. But I don't think so, because when they say I won't buy it, I tend to believe them. But you weren't going for somebody he's my age. You're not going for us anyway.
Right.
So, anyway.
It just needs to be.
Well, they came back with a Clydesdale ad yesterday on all their socials. They're trying to go backwards to the Clyde. And I love the Clydesdales more than anything. And the dog on the fire deal, the Dalmatian. But it's because they don't have anything else right now.
Yeah, well, that's ridiculous. That kind of takes away any positivity.
The positivity of having the trans lady. Well, no, I'm not saying she's off the cans. It was just another ad they put on Instagram and all that. It's very sentimental. Yeah. Hey, remember, we have ponies. We have super pretty ponies. Because the Budweiser guy, whoever, came out and apologized for it all. Like, they have lost like $5 billion. The trans person got hired.
Brendan Whitworth is the CEO.
Brendan Whitworth?
Is the CEO.
Well, he had to come out and apologize. And they've lost like $5 billion.
He didn't mean to divide the country.
No, he did not mean to divide the country. Right.
But he should have thought about all that.
Why? When she turned in this idea, okay. So, well, you should have thought, okay, we can do that, but let's make it all inclusive.
I think Dylan should have been given a Clydesdale to ride.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but now that I would have a long, hard talk with Alicia Heinerschneid and say,
beer is for everyone.
Beer is for everyone. And then I would have Trixie, the drag queen, come in. Trixie Mattel come in and have a little. Now she's not trans, but the drag queens too. Why not put the drag queens on the cans?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Mrs. Richfield. If you don't know drag queens, go look up one of the funniest acts I've ever seen because she really has a whole hour. She pretends, she as Mrs. Richfield that she was in Minnesota. There's this. I don't even know if it's a real town called Richfield, Minnesota, and she was the beauty queen of that area. And it's the funniest act ever. It was Anyway, they should have, if you're going to piss off that many people, you need to have an immediate backup plan. If you want to be risky and dicey, then you need a backup plan. And it's not, do we have a Clydesdale commercial from 1984 about Christmas?
Shout out to Dylan for taking all the shit.
Yeah, Dylan, shout out to, the situation it just amazes me the shit people care about.
Yeah.
As long as you tell me that beer isn't flat or poisoned, I don't really care.
Is it cold?
Yeah, if it's hot, I don't want it.
No.
I don't even think I would have looked at the can.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Dylan
So we're moving on. People just ask.
Shout out to
Dylan. And I think Alyssa Heinerschneid should have had a backup plan. And I would have her in my office right now going, now, if this was going to backfire, what were you thinking?
What would you do at Harvard?
What would you do if you're me and right now I've lost $5 billion? Now, it's all temporary, too. People get real mad about this shit for like a half a second.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, it'll be fine. But anyway.
We're out of Ultra. Okay, I'll have a Bud Light.
Well, here's the thing, Bud Light. Simmer down on creating new brands. You're eating your own. My God, rest on your laurels for a minute, okay? And you want to bring Bud Light back, you got to make it Bud Light Light.
Bud Light.
Lighter Bud Light. Beer.
It's for everyone.
Beer is for everyone. That's because you're Canadian, pal. That's all you people do up there.
We're all included.
Okay, so we're moving on. Coachella.
Oh my God.
This is just going to show you. This is going to be a test to see how old are you people are. Okay. The headliners. Now, I have heard of Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah, Bad Bunny.
But I don't know why I heard of that. He was at some other thing on TV. Blackpink, never heard of. Frank Ocean, I thought was Billy Ocean, who sang Caribou Queen. And I thought, why do the children care about Billy Ocean? He's got to be 60-something, if he's even alive. I don't know. Well, he's not. Frank Ocean is a different man. He is not Billy Ocean. Here's some other high-profile sets. So these are the people I'm supposed to know. Yep. Rosalia, Jai Paul, Gorillaz with a Z, Boy Genius, Charlie XCX.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a girl, like twins or something.
Okay. Kali Uchis.
Nope.
I do know Blink-182.
Shut up. Are you kidding?
Well, here's the funniest thing. My friend Scott, he's Scott Kennedy. He passed away. He was a comedian. He was so funny. And one of my best friends. And he loved Blink-182. And he's like, will you please go with me? I said, Scott, I don't want to go to Blink-182. We were like 40. And he goes, come on. It was somewhere in LA. And when I got there, they had a parental beer garden. And I said to Scott, is it going to hurt your feelings if I go to the parental beer garden and wait on you like you're my 15-year-old son? He goes, no, I don't care. Once we get in there, it won't even matter that you're there. Go to the beer garden, have fun. So I went back and forth to the beer garden. I mean, I knew a couple songs, but I mean, the list, oh my God. So here's who it was. This just showed you. It's like I live on a whole different planet.
Charlie XCX is electropop.
Charlie XCX is electropop?
Yeah. You just sound like an alien.
Right. Well, one time I had a corporate gig somewhere in Florida, and I checked into the Ritz-Carlton because that's where the gig was, and they got me a very nice room there. It was super fancy. The hotel next to it had been abandoned, and the pool was empty, and there was a stage set up, and about an hour after I got there were like 2,000 children in an empty swimming pool with glow sticks and shit, and the music started, and I called down to the front desk, and I go, just out of curiosity, how long is this music going on? And the guy goes, It's due to stop on Monday. Whoa. Yeah, it was Friday. I'm like, oh my God, how does the Ritz not walk over there and unplug all their, it was like electro pop, emo something. Emo pop. So it sounded like the same song for 2 goddamn days. There's a beat to it. Bass. Everybody's got glow sticks. I mean, they weren't violent. They seemed under control. Mushrooms and X. A lot of X, yeah. Here's who was Friday. Over Mono, Push T, Muna, Magdalena Bay, Eve's Tumor. What? Yes. Here's some more. Okay. Hold on. Ashniko? Nope. Uncle Waffles?
Love it.
I like the name.
Great merch.
White Fang, white spelled incorrectly on purpose. The Garden, Jamie Jones. I mean, I will not keep going, but I'm just telling you, this is like Dennis Cruz plus Paul $A. Huh? I mean, Blondie was there. I know Blondie. She's like 75 years old.
Blondie's wonderful.
They're great. Labyrinth, Chromeo, Tale of Us. I'm going to have to ask. I'm going to get a full report from my friend Bronson.
A weekend pass is $537.
A weekend pass is $537. That's pretty good.
That's just to get in.
That's fine. You get to see all these people. I mean, the problem is you got to know them. Well, you don't have to, but I wouldn't be running to a stage to see camel fat. Oh my God, I get it. Every stage is named desert, just bullshit, like Mojave or Yuma or Sonora. I gotta go see Camel Fat at 7:30 on the Yuma stage. Huh? You don't want to go? Fine, Paddles. You sit here, sweat your ass off in the desert.
I gotta Google that.
Google 'em. It's not spelled that way. It's spelled camel, correct way, fat, P-H-A-T. How about Los Bitches? Huh? DJ Little Buddha? All right, you get the idea.
Camel Fat, put it in the shows.
Camel Fat. Is it a man or a woman?
That's 2 guys.
2 guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've had 9 names before this.
9 names before. Oh, that means it's not working.
They're from England.
Oh, they're from England?
It's called progressive house music.
Progressive house music.
Oh my God.
Wow, I don't even know what that category is. Moving on.
Okay.
Shout out and congratulations to Mandy Matney, the journalist from South Carolina, who she won an award. She has over 100,000 people on her YouTube channel. And when you get to that, you get a little award. I haven't gotten there. No.
We're
Good for Mandy.
We're climbing.
Yeah. So she said, reminder, you can absolutely stick to your morals, ethics, and your boundaries, and you can also be successful at the same time. Thanks for this YouTube. We needed it today. Because she covered the Alex Murdaugh trial, in case you haven't been keeping up with all that. Update!
Shut up, Mandy.
Okay, our mystery animal in Texas?
Camel Fat.
It was a camel. No, I'm kidding. So if you looked in the schnotes, it was a story last week about this animal nobody could identify. It's a badger.
A badger?
Yeah, but I've never seen a badger's face. They're striped like a skunk, and then the rest of his body is not striped.
Yeah. In Wisconsin.
It's incredible to see an animal in its natural habitat because most of the badgers are nocturnal.
That's a big badger.
He was huge.
Yeah.
They said it was a big one. It was definitely in the park. Everybody says it. All the experts have chimed in. While some may think badgers live in colder climates, the American badger can be found in the western and central U.S., according to the National Park Service. Texas wildlife officials say the badger is found throughout Texas, except in the farthest eastern edge of the state. While American badgers are not commonly seen in the valley due to their nocturnal behavior, this is part of their natural range. The black mask in the face and the hint of white line under the neck and the chin and general stocky shape of the animal are a dead giveaway. So there you go. There's your update. That is a badger. If you've never seen one, I suggest you Google it.
Big badger.
Yeah, he was a big one. Update! Elizabeth Holmes is going to the pokey. The judge denied her request to stay out while she's trying to appeal her case, as I would have too. Yep. A judge on Monday denying Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes' request to remain free on bail while she appeals her conviction on charges of defrauding investors in failed blood testing startup that was once valued at $9 billion. She will report to the Pokey on April 27th. She's been sentenced to 11 years and 3 months in prison. Holmes asked the judge to postpone the sentence while the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals reviews her case. The judge concluded that even if Holmes won her appeal to challenge the Theranos technology evidence, it wouldn't result in a reversal or a new trial of all the counts she was found guilty of. It's just one count.
Right.
You don't get to stay free for that.
Nope.
No.
Keep going. Keep lying.
She's gonna have to go. And he's already on his way.
Good.
I think he had a report already. If not
Last
already,
week.
it's very soon. Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah. So there's your update. That we made it through it.
Great.
We made it through.
Excellent.
Update.
Good reporting.
Update.
Not very loud. It's not
Billy McFarland.
Oh, God.
He's the Fyre Festival guy. I wouldn't attend anything called Fyre Festival because he didn't spell fire right.
Right.
And I'm already out. Now I know you're a hipster fraudster, a fraudster con man, if you will. He says that Fyre Festival 2 is definitely happening. In a tweet on Sunday, he asked Twitter users why they should be invited to Fyre Festival 2. Who would respond to that unless you were just being a jackass, which I would be tempted to do.
Sure.
It's finally happening. Then he said, why should you be allowed in? Why should you be allowed out of jail?
Right.
He hasn't released any other details.
It's happening.
He's been active in the replies to his tweet about the follow-up festival.
The first one didn't happen.
The first one did not happen, and the second one he said was going to be virtual. We already covered this on this podcast, so I don't know why he's tweeting.
He's crazy.
Oh, my God. He tweeted on March 26th, not that long ago, I owe people $26 million. Here's how I'm going to pay it back. I'm going to spend half my time filming TV shows. The other half, I want to focus on what I'm really good at. I'm the best at coming up with wild, creative, getting talent together and delivering the moment. No, you're the worst.
You're worse. Yeah.
You did not do that.
You couldn't deliver.
My cousin did a better job in her backyard on Friday night.
She sure
It
did.
was creative. She got a lot of people together and delivered a moment.
Nice.
Yeah, so we don't need to go through all this again, but that's what he says is happening. Yeah.
Great.
On the podcast, he also said he was going to do another one, too. Remember, that's what we read on here. That was back in November. Update on the Lori Vallow trial. The mother, Lori Vallow Daybell. So they started talking about her dead kids, that her and the guy, and she walked into court. How can you do this when your two kids are dead and you took part in it? She's laughing, throwing her head back. I don't know if she's trying to look crazy, but whatever. She had to sit in the courtroom, and then they started talking about how they found the kids' remains, and then she asked if she could not be in the courtroom anymore. And the judge said, no, you're going to sit your ass down.
Good.
And wouldn't let her go. So good for him.
Definitely.
I have not gone, though. Maybe the children know. Is it on YouTube? I've been gone. I haven't been around to look, really.
I'll find it.
But I'm going to see.
She needs a death penalty.
I know she's not eligible for the death penalty, Paddle, so you're going to have to take that off your plate.
I think we should vote on that.
Well, you don't get a vote. You don't live in Idaho. Shut up. No, you have.
I could be in Idaho.
You don't get to. You don't even get to decide.
I'm still on camel fat.
Camel fat. Do they have any hits?
No, none I know.
Oh,
I'm gonna listen to
that's
it.
our update section. Holy shit, they found it.
Yes.
A secret 1,500-year-old underground tunnel with mosaics and a Roman statue were found in St. Polytukos Church. It's hard to say.
Wow.
It's in Turkey.
Ah.
Yeah. Polyiktos Church.
Yep.
A previously unknown underground tunnel estimated to be about 1,500 years old has been unearthed during an ongoing archaeological excavation in 1,500-year-old we'll call him St. Poly Church in Istanbul.
Cool.
The church was an ancient Byzantine church in Constantinople, now Istanbul, Turkey, built by noblewoman, a woman, Annika Juliana, granddaughter of Valentinian III.
Okay.
Who knows these people?
Put it in the schnauze.
Whose name is known from an illuminated manuscript dated 512. Well, we are really
Whoa.
going back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was St. Poly was an ancient Roman saint. Christian tradition states that he was a wealthy Roman army officer, the first martyr in Armenia. Okay. In recent days, excavation work carried out by the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality teams has been a success. They've got the passageway. They've already unearthed 20 meters, 65 feet from a different passage. The underground passage, which contains mosaic and stone inlays, has impressed researchers with carved marble blocks. Wow. You can imagine if you just found that. You're like, holy shit, and there's all these mosaics on the road.
Holy shit, I found it.
Holy shit, I found it. They sure did. It survived all the earthquakes. This church, the church no longer exists. It's just remains of the church. It was built in between 524 and 527. Whoa. It remains an important place, shedding light on the important period in Byzantine history. Cool. There you go. Sounds pretty cool. I want to go to Istanbul. Lewis went and said it was awesome.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I never thought about it till he went. I don't even remember why he went. I think just curiosity killed the cat.
The spice market is pretty cool.
The spice market?
Yep. I've been one.
Holy shit. They found it. I didn't even know this was possible. Rare diamond within a diamond is unearthed in India and named the beating heart. Whoa. A unique diamond within a diamond has been unearthed, according to a company in India's Surah, one of the rarest in history, when it comes to such stones. They've named it beating heart and said it consists of a diamond piece with a smaller, freely moving piece trapped inside. Whoa. The stone was originally found in the rough in October last year by the diamond manufacturer that operates from Surmat in Mumbai. Hold, please. Okay. The Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council, set up by the Indian government, said the beating heart joins a little group of similar natural diamonds, such as the Matroska diamond from Siberia, which was recorded in 2019. The authenticity of the stone was confirmed via further analysis using optical and electron microscopes. You can see it. It's really weird. I've certainly never seen anything like the beating heart during my last 30 years in the diamond sector, Samantha Sibley said. Using the expertise of De Beers Group, we can shed light onto the formation of the structure of this natural specimen and share these insights with a wider community of diamond professionals. The rare diamond has etched features visible on both sides. They don't say how much it's worth, though. They say it's priceless. But come on, everything's got a price. We know that.
Okay.
The $800 million two-in-one jewel was said to be priceless and the only such discovery in the world. I don't know.
Pretty cool.
Somebody will buy it.
Yeah.
Some Elon or somebody
Elon will buy it.
shit tons of
For
money.
his desk.
Elon's in trouble again. Yeah. Well, oh my God, update. Oh my God, update. I don't even have to print it out because somebody sent it to me on Twitter. Bed Bath & Beyond stock is at 29 cents.
Stop it.
That's my business section. I had another business one. I'll get it to you. I'll make sure to kind of keep it the same thing. Yes. It's crazy. Where's my other? Well, I'll get to it. But anyway, and my friends Bob and Clark, they went, and Clark got the last set of baking pans at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's one in California. I'm not sure exactly which one. But I'm telling you, and I said, are you at one of the going out of business ones? And he said, no, not yet. It doesn't, like, mine says store closing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go up there today and make a video.
Yeah.
We're moving on to news.
Okay.
This is so great. Did you guys know that in the United States there are feral donkeys?
What?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Feral donkeys.
No.
Like in Arizona.
No.
Yeah. Like I was driving the guy was driving me in the car from the airport to Talking Stick Casino. And I saw a donkey, but I didn't see any fences. And I'm like, whose donkey is that? Does that belong to someone? He's like, no. So anyway, I got into it and learned that there's feral donkeys. Well, anyway.
Okay.
They're so cute. They don't do much, but apparently they do something. Here's what they're good for.
Huh.
Feral donkeys
Yeah.
are going to be used to fight off wolves in Colorado.
What?
Yep. It seems to me like a bunch of wolves, if you got a pack, could take down a donkey.
Yeah.
But maybe the donkeys are way meaner than we think.
We gotta learn about donkeys.
I know I'm going to have to do a deep dive on donkeys.
Yeah.
As the reintroduction of wolves to Colorado looms, tensions rise between environmentalists and ranchers. While environmentalists believe that wolves will help restore the ecosystem balance, ranchers fear losing their livestock. Don Gittleson, a Colorado rancher, has turned to guard monkeys to protect his cattle from wolves. Wolves have been known to attack and kill cattle, which is a cause for concern. Gittleton has lost 8 cows to wolves and fears that reintroducing wolves to the state could lead to more losses. Wow. Gittleson Angus and Gittleson Family Cattle Company, a ranch in Colorado, they've acquired 7 donkeys, hoping to make the herd a more challenging target for the wolves. Oh my God, they're going to use them as the target instead of the cattle.
Oh.
That's not nice.
Yeah, no.
They hope that the next wolf that tries to get close to a cow will meet a hurricane of hooves and donkey teeth. Oh, well, maybe they can fight back. Wow. Guard animals are not a new concept, but instead of guard dogs, they've chosen guard donkeys, which were considered to be a better choice due to the high cost of food for dogs. Now, I saw a coyote run through my yard the other day, and I wasn't a big fan of that because of the cats. Maybe I'll get a donkey. The 19 deer that lay around in my yard like dogs, I don't think they would care. They don't care about anything.
You have a lot of deer. It's crazy.
Donkeys, these donkeys threaten wolves as they can kick, strike back, and bite, thus deterring them from attacking the cattle.
I mean, wow.
Well, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
Feral donkeys have been used to protect livestock in other parts of the world. They are now becoming a popular choice for ranchers in Colorado. The donkeys are not interested in mixing with the cattle and prefer to stick together, thus forming a bond while helping to protect the cattle from predators.
Okay.
It's a pilot project. We'll let you know how it happens if it works out.
Wow. Feral donkeys. I like it.
Oh my God, a lady. She photographed Croczilla.
What?
Now, I've heard of Croczilla. It's not a joke. My friend Andrew told me about this, and he's always down in the Everglades catching snakes and shit. He loves it. I didn't realize that in America you could have, I thought crocodiles were only in South America and alligators in the United States. I know for a fact I've never seen a crocodile in the United States. I've only seen them at zoos. Because they're more of a South American deal. Right. This past week, Kim Clark, a hobby wildlife photographer, came across one of the Everglades' most well-known residents, Croczilla. The crocodile is estimated to be 14 foot long and is rumored by park staff and tour guides to be the largest in the park. Wait till you see the picture of this thing. I mean, it looks like a car. It's laying down. It just, you might think it was a mound, not except you see the teeth. The crocodile was spotted at 9 Mile Pond in the Everglades National Park, a popular spot for kayaking and canoeing. Oh, yeah, there I go to reach for my beer, fall out of the canoe. No, I'm not canoeing with Croczilla. It's over 14 foot long. Wow. Yeah, it's the upper limit of what the species can grow to be. Oh, my God. South Florida is the only place where American crocodiles and American alligators are known to coexist. According to the Wildlife Commission, the crocodile is an endangered species success story. Their numbers have climbed from less than 300 in 1975 to more than 2,000 adult crocodiles in the wild. Wow. The species, which is now considered threatened, is much more elusive than Florida's 1.25 million alligators, which can be found in all of Florida's 67 counties. Huh. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Okay. How long, with the temperatures rising, and then people go, global warming, but it's so hot out. No. We're talking about the base temperature of the Earth annually is rising by whether it's a half a degree or a degree. I think there's going to be alligators in probably Tennessee by the time I'm dead. If I live a normal lifespan. Because they're in the south part of Alabama, so why aren't they just walking up to Huntsville? Walk up to Birmingham. Then you're only 2 hours away from the bottom part of Tennessee. I think it's going to happen. Wow. Predictions. I mean, I'm no Baba Vanga, but I can tell you that these animals are on the move. I like it. Montana.
You think they'll be in Montana?
No, I'm moving on to my next story.
Oh, okay.
I'm just telling you. Alligators, because they can survive Charleston winter. True. They keep their snouts up in case the pond gets frozen, and then they can still breathe. And then they're in a suspended state of animation. It's very strange. If you go sometimes on a golf course, if there's just any ice, you just see a snout sticking out.
You're playing golf in ice?
Well, no, but some days when it's cold and there's still ice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would. Um,
Put the schnapps. I'll find a picture.
yeah. Do you live in Montana? Are you one of the rich people that goes there when you're tired of California? Well, you better be aware of this. Montana becomes the first state to approve a full ban of TikTok.
Whoa.
Now, I don't think there's enough children in Montana, and by children I mean anyone under 30.
By 9.
To backlash this in a major way. Listen to this though,
Okay.
because I was like, how can you do that? I mean, forget about the morality of it. Physically, how can you do that? Well, here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Montana's become the first state to approve a bill that would ban TikTok over the possibility that the Chinese government could request Americans' data from the wild popular video streaming app. Okay, I know this sounds naive, and I don't even care.
Okay.
Whatever, do the Chinese want to spy on me? You want to watch me try to buy a feral donkey? What do you want? What do you think that I have that is so valuable? Here, you want me to get a 10-minute set of jokes together? Here, let's open my joke book. How do you like my beer stickers? I mean, I don't, other aside from stealing your credit card info or something, I don't even understand. Spying on what? Do you really want to spy on my nieces all day? You will get real tired of that dance they're making up in about 20 seconds. You'll be like, okay, girls, that was cute, but let's move on. The GOP-controlled Montana House of Representatives sent the bill Friday to Republican Governor Greg Gianforte, I don't know, who can now sign it into law. The bill makes it illegal to download TikTok in the state with penalties up to $10,000 a day for any entity such as Apple and Google's app stores or TikTok itself that makes the popular video streaming app available. Well, what if I download it in another state and come home? If enacted, the ban would not start till January 2024.
Because your credit card billing address is Montana on your iTunes account.
Oh, because the credit card? Oh. Yeah. Well, you got to use a credit card that's,
Fraudulent.
questionable. A federal court challenge from TikTok is expected before then, likely teeing up a legal brawl that the supporters of the law in Montana say could eventually wind up in front of the Supreme Court. I mean, I can't even believe that this is what we're down to. Our Supreme Court's got to listen to, a fight about TikTok.
Yeah.
If the Chinese are spying, I need to understand what is it they think they're getting.
Right.
You want to spy on me? I'm afraid you'll be very bored. It will not be a profitable thing for you.
No.
A TikTok person said that the bill's backers have admitted there's no feasible plan for putting the TikTok ban into place, since blocking downloads of app in any one individual state could almost be impossible to enforce. Right. They said the bill represents the censorship of Montanans' voices. We will continue to fight for TikTok users and creators in Montana whose livelihoods and First Amendment rights are threatened by this egregious government overreach. I don't know. I don't think you can do it.
Nope.
I don't think you can do it.
No. They're moving to Idaho. Nope.
I mean, this is what we're writing. I don't know. Maybe, I'm always open to going, okay, there's a huge piece of the puzzle I'm missing, and maybe I'm missing.
Do we have any termites there?
Are there any termites in Montana? Montana termites? Full-time ones. I don't mean the ones that bebop in and out from California.
Nope. The California termites.
Do you want a $214 grilled cheese sandwich?
Yes.
No.
I don't want to buy it though.
Even if no. The best grilled cheese are the cheapest ones. I hate it when they're like, oh, we have a grilled cheese sandwich. It has Gruyere, no.
Jarlsberg. Yeah.
When it comes to the Guinness World Records, not all are created equal. Sometimes they're handed out by people who are really, what? Sometimes they're handed out to people who are really large or dogs that are really small. Other times, of the Guinness World Records, other times recipients need to venture to outer space to qualify. But some just require a lot of cheese, a lot of butter, and a little bit of gold. Since 2014, the New York City's Serendipity 3 has laid claim to the Guinness World Record for the most expensive grilled cheese sandwich. It costs a whopping $214. Orders for the high-priced quintessential grilled cheese, normally you have to call 48 hours in advance. They're going to be serving one on Wednesday. You could go in on Wednesday and just get one for this. This reporter did this on purpose. It's served on made-to-order French bread, which is made with Dom Perignon champagne and has edible gold flakes in it. Each sandwich gets roughly a half a pound of the rare, I don't even know what this cheese is, Cavacoke Cavoloa Podilico cheese. Never heard of it. Nope. Retails for upwards of $50 a pound. Sounds Hawaiian. That's because there are only 25,000 cows whose milk is used to make this cheese, and they only lactate for 2 months a year. Border people. The bread is slathered with white truffle butter. I hate all truffle, so now you've really ruined it for me. I know a lot of people like it. And brushed with white truffle oil. Again, vomit. Which has gold flakes mixed into it. When the sandwich is ready to be served, it's cut diagonally, and each half gets a layer of edible gold across its section. It doesn't end there. Instead of tomato soup, which is my favorite, it's served with a South African lobster tomato bisque on the side for dipping. Wow. I like just your regular old. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm with you. They said it's good. Okay. The gold leaf doesn't add anything in terms of flavor, but it's fun, over-the-top novelty addition. The bread is great too, but it's the cheese itself that's the star. I don't know. If you ever want to try it, go to New York. Call in advance, 2 days in advance. Serendipity 3. Never heard of it. Here's another one where I just go, my Lord. We are just, sorry. My head hurts right here. My glasses. Oh, it's my glasses. Wow. There's like something poking inside my head. Happy Tuesday. This is a California bill that would ban ingredients in popular treats such as Skittles and Sour Patch Kids are moving a step closer to becoming law. If the bill becomes law, it will block 5 chemicals from being used in foods sold or manufactured in the state. Each of these chemicals is already banned in the EU. Now, I'm not saying they are good for you, but I have never attended a wake and went, oh my God, I didn't hear what happened. How did Bill die? And like, Sour Patch Kids, he ate like 1 million of them, and then he ate Skittles, and he only ate the ones with the dye, the bad dye. He died of Skittles. I mean, how much do you have to eat for this shit to really be that bad? Now, that's not necessarily the healthy. I know Skittles aren't real anything. Right. None of that stuff. They don't have real this fruit. Is like when they took away the good McDonald's French fries. Are you saying they don't have real fruit? They don't have real fruit. No. And I think anybody over the age of 1 would know that and go, this tastes like some sort of delicious plastic. What is this? It smells like Fruit Loops. I did like Skittles. Sour Patch Kids are too sour for me, but the goal is to protect kids and their parents from harmful chemicals. Protect them. I know. Just remember, my mom is 81. She's eaten every pink or red peep that's ever been made on Earth, and she's fine. Yeah. Wow. They're hoping they ditch the chemicals. I mean, I'm sure it's better for us. It's red 3, a food dye uses some candies. Don't eat the red ones. How about that? Oh no, they're throwing Campbell's Chunky Soup under the bus too. Sundrop Soda, didn't know we still made that. Nope. Sour Patch Hot Tamale Candies, that's my dad's favorite. Yes. I never liked them. They're so good. I can't, I don't know. I think we have better things to work on right now. Yeah. You know. People are a little. Nope, saying, misguided. I've never attended a wake. Too many peeps. What happened? Skittles. He loved them. He couldn't put them down. Every morning he'd wake up and he'd have coffee and then a whole bag of Skittles. So and then Skittles. At night. NPR, moving on, has quit Twitter. They were falsely labeled, they say, as a state-affiliated media. Oh my God. Here's my NPR, to me, talk about needing somebody to come in. You got to stop that weird guitar music behind these. Yeah, it's so it's so sleepy. It's very sleepy. They need and they all talk like this. Yes. I feel like everyone on there has a story to tell, but they don't have the actual energy to tell it. Yeah. Nobody laughs. Nope. I mean, I listen to it here and there. I do think they have good international stories and stuff, but Hello, it's Kathleen Madigan reporting from Istanbul. I mean, it's just so monotone.
It's like golf.
NPR will no longer post fresh content to its 52 official Twitter feeds, becoming the first
52?
They have 52 NPR, because I'm sure it's like NPR New York, NPR LA, Chicago, whatever. The decision by Twitter, okay, it said that Twitter's decision to first label the network as a state-affiliated media, he did that on purpose.
Exactly.
Don't fall for that.
No.
Don't play his game.
No.
The same term it uses for propaganda outlets in Russia, China, and other autocratic countries. The decision by Twitter last week took the public radio network off guard. When queried by the NPR tech reporter Bobby Allen, Twitter-owned Elon Musk asked how NPR functioned. Musk allowed that he might have got it wrong. Twitter then revised its label on NPR's account that said government-funded media. The news organization said this is inaccurate and misleading, given that it is a private nonprofit company with the editorial independence. It receives less than 1% of its $300 million annual budget from the federally funded Corporation for Public Broadcasting. I didn't know that. I thought they got more from the government.
Yeah, I did too.
I'll contribute to make one person just talk like they have energy. Just zip it up. So they quit. He might change their label to publicly funded. Yeah, that's what they are.
Right.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
I just think he gets up and thinks, how can I start a fight today? And then people fall for it. At this point, I've lost my faith in the decision-making of Twitter. I would need some time to understand whether Twitter can be trusted again. Or if you're NPR, just get off of it.
Yeah.
Be done.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're supposed to use. Other people have found other things, but... Or don't.
Right.
Just be NPR.
Right. Get your news from NPR.
Right. Go back to the way it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Sit there and eat Skittles. Buy them all. Sit there in your office and eat Skittles. It's fine. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I'm going to hold these two for next week. Yeah, they're pretty good. This is great. Well, this is crazy. A Chinese bowl that's it's smaller than a cereal bowl. It was produced at the time of the Yongzheng Emperor who ruled China from 1722 to 1735. It's sold for over $25 million at an auction.
What?
I'm not kidding. It's smaller than a cereal bowl.
Wow.
Like, I don't even know what you'd put in here. I would put ranch dip in it and then invite my relatives over and go, look, I made appetizers.
Isn't this pretty?
It's 4.5 inches in diameter, sold for more than $25 million during a bumper week of Chinese art sales in Hong Kong. Wow. Described by Sotheby's as highly important, the antique hails from a rare group of ceramics decorated at Beijing's Imperial Workshop in the 18th century. It is painted very pretty. It's very delicate. It's like little trees. I mean, I think it's very pretty, but I would take the knockoff version for a Hondo. Yeah, I don't need the real one. The bowl was produced at the time of Yongzheng, who ruled. It's part of the tradition known as foreign colors, a name to give porcelain originating from the imperial kilns of Jingzhen, but enameled by artisans in Beijing's Forbidden City.
Wow.
25.3 million. It's an apricot tree and a willow.
How peaceful.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's really cute, but
You can't put ranch in that.
the bowls were split up. There was a pair.
Whoa.
They were split up in 1929 when they each were sold for $9,400.
Wow.
The other bowl is in the British Museum of London.
How was that procured?
I don't know how that was procured. One would wonder.
I wonder.
Have you done bad things?
Probably.
Okay, I'm going to do this, and then we're going to have a little feel-good story at the end.
We're talking Tupperware.
Tupperware. Yes. Here's the great thing. I still have 10 minutes left. So I read last week that Tupperware might be on its way to being out of business, which I didn't know it was still in business.
I didn't either.
No. I had no idea. But I do remember it as a kid being a big thing. Like, my mom was like, we can't afford Tupperware. I'm like, yes, we can. Stop acting like we live in the hills of West Virginia. Stop it.
It's not
She loved living on a budget. She just gets off on the challenge of it. I mean, Tupperware wasn't that expensive. It's not like I said, do you have a $20 million Chinese bowl we can have dip in, Mom? It's a fucking plastic thing that'll hold lettuce. This is a great story. But then I'm going to tell you on Amazon Prime, where my special is too. What? They have a documentary about Tupperware. And I don't think I could have been alive as a 1950s woman. I mean, the amount of keeping me down on the farm and keeping me brain dead, and all those husbands are like, I don't want that little lady selling anything, because the minute I'm out, you cannot get this cat back in the bag. Nope. And they were like, if you could have any wish, the documentary, it's all in the 50s. So there's a guy, Earl Tupper, he invented Tupperware, but he was like socially awkward and stuff, so he hired a lady, Brownie Wise, to be the main lady, and she was Brownie. Yeah, I don't know. She might have a real name, but that's where she went. And she was dynamite, and she got the whole thing going. And then they bought all this land in Florida to have their parties and their retreats, and it does look like you want to go. I mean, a lot of it was fun. Like, she hid diamonds and mink coats in this field and gave everybody shovels. Whoa. Yeah, and whatever. So that show, if you want a nostalgia thing, but the women, I felt so bad for them because they were like, if you could have any wish on earth, what would you wish? She was like, I would wish that I could keep my lettuce crisper for longer.
What?
Yeah. I feel sorry for that lady, because that's how much they've kept you down on the farm. Mm-hmm. That's as far as your brain's going to work. How do I keep the lettuce not being brown so he doesn't bitch when he gets home from work? Holy shit. But this was a great way for housewives to make it out. And then they all said, you know, most of the women didn't have cars, which is true. I remember on my Aunt Nan Street, she didn't have a car. Mrs. Cunningham didn't car. Nobody had a car. Nobody. Wow. The husband took the car. We had 2 cars. As Vicky, you want to go put up with that shit? How's she going to get her cigarettes if she doesn't have a car? Nope. How am I supposed to get my ghouls? But, you know, a lot of families couldn't afford 2 cars, so this became their social life, to have Tupperware parties. Wow. It's a crazy story. It's well worth watching. It's on Amazon Prime. And then we're going to talk about the other, I forgot to talk about last week, and I promised I would, Blackbird, the show. Oh, my God. So they didn't even file an annual report this year. That's really bad for Tupperware. Meanwhile, the experts have now said the financial missteps, the demise of the direct model in the age of e-commerce, and the rise of cheap alternatives, including reusable containers from food deliveries, have all played a role in Tupperware's downfall. But again, it's like beer. Everything has a moment in the sun, and then you either need to adapt or you're going to go away. Yeah. With the current bleak circumstances, it's almost hard to believe that the brand inspired a cultural phenomenon called Tupperware parties in the 20th century. Wow. What's more, the brand also had a fan in the late Queen. The Queen loved Tupperware.
Lizzie liked it?
Yeah. Wow. She said to use her products every day. They had their glory days. In 1946, Earl Tupper from New Hampshire created his first range of kitchenware, polyethylene?
Polyethylene.
Polyethylene Tupperware. At the time, the U.S. was still reeling from the Great Depression, and the chemists wanted to create a product that could help with food waste. An aspiring product developer was inspired by the airtight seal in a paint can and used this for the basis of his Wonder Bowl, which hit shelves the following year. In 1947, House Beautiful reviewed the Wonder Bowl and labeled it fine art for 39 cents. Cool. However, the vacuum-sealed plastic canner was so innovative that shoppers were wary at first, and it required demonstrations. What is wrong with America that I have to show you how to put a lid on a bowl? Where'd we all get confused? I flunk math every year, and I understood that. Lid, bowl. Yep. Psh, I heard the seal. Yay, it worked. Size. Wow. A demonstration. This is a lid on a bowl. Right. Come on, folks. According to History.com, confused customers kept returning the airtight lids as they didn't believe they fit. Oh. They returned them. They thought it was too tight. Too tight. In a bid to boost sales, Earl Tupper hired divorce secretary Brownie Wise to be his vice president of marketing in 1951. Yeah, and she killed it. I mean, she killed it. Wait till you see this show. She later said, I needed the money for me and my kids. She was a divorced wife, which back then was kind of kooky, and she had a little kid. So I got out there and made it happen. It was, you don't need to know all this. I'm not going to go through the whole history, but sadly, I think it's going away.
That's too bad.
Oh my God, in 2007, the brand was still going strong and even inspired a Broadway musical.
Tupperware?
Really? Tupperware did? Yes.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta look it up.
Tupperware parties glamorized dull housework. You could only buy it if you knew someone had sold it, so it was exclusive and social and about the relationships with other women. Yeah. But then they would let a man, husband and wife, be in charge of a distributorship. So somebody had to run the warehouse and somebody had to get out there and sell it, all that. And these couples back east were like, yeah, my husband said he would quit to his job as a fireman, and they told us to go to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I never even heard of it. And then I thought we must come in the back way because I couldn't find anybody under 100 years old. Then this other couple was like, we didn't even know where St. Louis was. He just started shipping them out there. Get out there in America, middle America. Sell some goddamn bowls. Call me when you're done.
Wow. I like the square ones.
And they had an army of saleswomen in post-Soviet Russia.
Whoa.
It made it to Russia.
You're kidding.
No. In 1960s, it launched in the UK, and that's when the Queen liked it.
Wow.
An undercover reporter, she said she stored all of her various breakfast cereals in the brand's container to keep them fresh. What's more, Her Majesty's former chef, Darren McGrady, revealed that these weren't the only Tupperware products she owned. Yeah, he said, the Queen must, people always say, the Queen must eat off gold plates with gold knives and forks. Yeah, sometimes. But at Balmoral, she'd eat fruit from a plastic yellow Tupperware container.
Huh.
Yep.
All right.
And then that got sales going. There's too much competition, though. Tupperware is over 75 years old. It grew in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, though. Product innovation and creative innovations, solutions for kitchenware. But today, there are significant ranges of competing products in the marketplace. So there's only so much innovation you can take in food storage.
True.
Yeah, and now you got to face Rubbermaid, Glad, Ziploc, and other reusable containers for forward. Yeah, I don't know. You're going to have to think of something totally different.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe you could hire Alyssa Heidenschneid or whatever her name was.
Schneidenbauer.
So go on Amazon and watch that. Speaking of what to watch, oh my God, Apple TV, Blackbird.
Yeah.
I don't know good acting or bad acting, but I know horrible acting. And great, at least when I think it is. And then I always have to call Lewis because Lewis actually knows how to act and all that and go, am I right? This guy who plays Larry, I forget his last name now, Hall, yep. Larry Hall. He's suspected of killing over 50 women in the Midwest. Serial killer. And in the show, and it's all true, there was this very friendly seeming, affable drug-running guy in prison somewhere in Illinois, and they said, we're going to send you down there.
Springfield.
No, he was before. He got moved to Springfield, Missouri, and that's where this serial killer, they wanted him to befriend him, and so that he would get a confession, because they didn't have a confession. And then he would confess, and then he would confess it with all these details, and then he'd go, did you believe my stories?
Oh.
And he would do it to Jimmy, too. And he would tell Jimmy all this shit. And then Jimmy would be like, dude, that's all like... He would try to get more information. Then he'd go, Jimmy, those were just stories.
Oh.
But it's the way he talks. Hi, Jimmy. Wait till you see it. I think I have to go rewatch it. It was that good where I was just so stunned because he's so scary without being blatantly scary.
Yeah.
He's so good at creepy. And then sometimes he would just space out and go, hey, like, how do you even think to do that?
Like
I don't even know how an actor would think of that.
Like a Hannibal Lecter thing?
Like what?
Hannibal Lecter or something like that?
Oh, he's way creepier than Anthony Hopkins is Hannibal Lecter. Wow. 1,000,000 times creepier. But he doesn't seem as dangerous, but he is.
Right.
But he doesn't seem like it.
Wow.
And he had mutton chops in real life, those sideburns, because he was in Civil War reenactments.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, Jimmy. Jimmy was in the cell next to him. Now I just call my sister and do that. Hi, Jimmy. Are you awake? It's me, Larry. Hi, Jimmy. So creepy. highly recommend. And Succession, I can't believe, I'm not doing a spoiler alert. It's already about out there for days. They killed Brian Cox's character, my boyfriend. He's gone. I mean, I know it's the last season, but I didn't think they'd kill him in episode 3. No. Now I got to put up with these idiot children for the rest of the thing to see what happens to them. And they're all unlikable. You hate them all. I mean, there's not a likable one in the bunch where you ain't cheering for anybody. You're hoping either there's a whole giant earthquake or something and they all just get stuck under rubble. They're miserable people.
I like Kieran Culkin.
Which one is he? Macaulay Culkin? Yeah. I can't tell any of them apart. Culkin. He's Kieran? Uh-huh. Right, Macaulay was the one in the show. Yeah, the movie.
The other show.
The Home Alone. Right. But there's another Culkin that's in some things. He's very good at it. They're very good actors.
There's a lot of Culkins.
They're all good. There's the blonde lady's British, and you never know it. Her accent's so perfectly American. Like, they're all great. But
works a little bit.
Huh? Yeah, it's a very fast-paced. Like, I think the people in the writer rooms are just trying to outdo one another with snippy comments. People don't talk like that in real life, not constantly. You get like 3 of those in a day, you did a good job. But then I've seen it in these writers' room, and they're all trying to top the intellectually smart, funny thing the last person says, and then it just becomes a thing that doesn't even make sense anymore. But anyway, those are my 2 TV recommendations, and the Tupperware movie, if you're into it. It's a very nostalgia thing, and just be glad if you're a woman that likes to leave the house that you're alive now. Okay? Yeah. And it's mostly white women. There's some black women in there, but not enough. No. Like they weren't. No, I don't think they were lobbying real hard on that. They could have done better. Not a lot of minorities. They could have done a lot better because let them have a crack at it. Anyway. We're going to wrap this up with the world's happiest countries.
Great.
Yep. Do you have a guess?
Well.
Do you already know?
Nope. The Finns are always up there.
The Finns are number 1 again.
Really?
Yep.
Good for them.
Then Denmark.
Yep.
Iceland.
Whoa.
Israel. Netherlands. Sweden. Norway. Mm-hmm. Switzerland. You've fallen. Yeah. Luxembourg is 9. New Zealand is 10. Austria is 11. Australia is 12. Canada is 13.
Oh, man.
Ireland is 14. I think Ireland would be higher.
Yeah, me too.
It's very happy. United States is 15. Well, the whole country's on Prozac. I mean, if you're not happy yet, I don't know of anything else for you. You've got Prozac and you still can buy Skittles.
Prozac
so what's not good about your day? Well. What's the other thing we can't? Oh, Peeps. I told my mom, you better get up there.
Nothing red.
Germany is 16. Belgium is 17. Czech Republic is 18. United Kingdom, 19. Lithuania, 20. Yeah, now, I'm also going to tell you, though, the saddest ones. Yeah, it's a sad list. Oh, wait, it might not be in this article. Here's the lower for happiness. You can't blame them, though. No. Afghanistan.
Yeah, come on.
Duh. They're on 137th. Mm-hmm. Lebanon, they're at the low end, 136.
Stoned and shot all the time.
Right. Russia's kind of put a little dent in Ukraine's happiness. Really? Yeah.
Did anybody even go over to ask them, are you happy? We just
right. Somebody just yells fire, and the tank fires at you just for asking that question.
Terrible.
I'm going to tell you how you can win a trip to Finland before we go here.
Did you know that Finland is not one of the Nordic countries?
Finland is not one of the Nordic countries. I did know that.
I didn't know that.
It's more Russian.
No.
And because I had a neighbor in my apartment in L.A., and he was from Sweden, really from Sweden, not like American. Like he's from there. And all he would do is talk shit about the Finns. And I'm like, dude, I'm not on board with this racism because I don't even know what you're talking about. You're delivering he was like, they're stupid. They don't understand jokes.
They're great hockey players.
They're really good hockey players. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which.
I mean, I don't even know. I remember Louis Anderson used to have a joke. He goes, my father, because they're from Minnesota and Louis was, family was Swedish. He goes, my father used to be racist against races that nobody even cared about. Like he would say, Louis, just remember, we hate Norwegians. It was so Minnesota specific. I laughed every single time. And I can't even, I'm going to have to go look up the rest of that joke. But anyway, you can win a trip. It's giving away trips to Finland. Finland has been named the happiest country in the world again. Yes. Finland continues to occupy the spot for the 6th year in a row. I could not be the happiest person on earth here because it's too dark, too much, and I can't take the cold. True. So you got to have a good blood flow, good veins, no Raynaud's syndrome. None. Yeah. Finland continues. It's significantly ahead of other countries. But there's no national secret behind Finnish happiness, said Heil Jimenez, a senior director at the government organization Business of Business Finland. It's a skill that can be learned. Okay. Right. Like I tell my mom, you get happy in the same shoes you got sad in. Turn your frown upside down and shut up about the tornado. To prove this, the country's given away free trips to Finland for a 4-day masterclass in Finnish philosophy and life balance. Finland's first masterclass of happiness will be held from June 12th to 15th at the Kuru Resort, a luxury lakeside retreat in southern Finland. Okay, well, I could go in June. According to Visit Finland, coaches will cover these 4 themes in 4 days. Ready?
Yep.
Nature and lifestyle. Health and balance. No Skittles. Boo. Design and, quote, everyday. I don't know what's in quotes. I don't know. Food and well-being. Okay. Applications to attend the masterclass are open. Interested travelers should fill out a form and complete a social media challenge showing why you may secretly be a Finn. Those who are not chosen to attend... Fins. Right. But if I'm already Finnish, I would be happy. Right. You should not be Finnish. Right? Unless there's unhappy Finns that want to enter the contest, then you need to say you're a Finn. We just complicated that. Yep. Those who are not chosen to attend in person need not worry, according to the country's tourism authority, Visit Finland, adding that the masterclass will be available online later this summer. She's often asked why Finns are so happy. For her, it stems from a close relationship with nature and our down-to-earth lifestyle. The Finnish CEO of customer feedback company Happy or Not, Mika, it's called Happy or Not. Mika Lato agreed. We nurture our work-life balance. When you say work-life balance, you already ruined my happiness because you said work. Right. Yeah. Sorry. Nope. Benefiting from our proximity to nature. But he also said the concept of sisu, it's in quotes, I don't know what that means, plays an important role. Finns have a philosophy called sisu, an amalgamation of perseverance, resilience, and keeping problems in perspective. Sisu defines our national character and is recognizable and accepted, a concept to Finns as the American dream might be to residents of the USA.
Extraordinary determination in the face of extreme adversity.
Extraordinary determination in the face of extreme what? Diversity.
Adversity.
Oh. Yeah. He said the word has no English equivalent, but it involves pushing one's own boundaries and approaching seemingly insurmountable challenges head on. I'm not really interested in that.
It's on license plates.
Well, I don't want any insurmountable challenges. Like, you throw a challenge flag at me, like a French bulldog, I just go, that was stupid, you just threw your thing on the ground, and I walk away.
Bye. Bye.
This philosophy certainly underpins our national happiness and sense of purpose. It keeps our spirits high. Yeah, because it's too dark, and you're going to get sad. I'd have to get one of those things, my Aunt Peggy has one, the sunlight deals for winter. It looks like an old mirror. God, I can't think of the name of those things that... It just sends out light. A light mirror is what it is.
Like for podcasts now?
Well, like these, except they're way brighter, and to get you out of the depression of all the coldness of those places. And the darkness. They go dark like 20 hours a day.
Didn't they use a tan in front of them?
Tan? Yeah, my aunts all did that.
Tan in front of a light.
Yeah, you tan in front of a light. All I do is burn your face up. Everybody's got skin cancer now.
Color.
Yeah. I mean... All right, termites. Now, where are we going? Just making sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did this time. Good for me. Going to Durham this weekend. 2 shows, 1 Friday, 1 Saturday.
What are you doing in Durham?
In Durham, I'm going to go get Carolina barbecue. All the time.
Delicious.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Nice.
Then I'm going to Niceville, Florida, which we all know is right through Meanville. You go through Meanville. It's by Destin. I know where it's at. And then I'm going to Ponte Vedra, Florida. 2 shows. I think they're sold out, though. Charleston is definitely sold out. Santa Rosa. Yep. think we sold like 1,700, but I think there's like 1,850. So you can get, yep.
Nice.
Hard Rock Casino, Wheatland. I never know what's going on in casinos. And then Vegas. And please go rate the Amazon special. Please rate the Pubcast, especially the special. I don't even know.
You're getting yelled at about the Pubcast.
Who can yell at me about this Pubcast? It's free. It's my work. I make the decisions.
Okay. They said rate it.
No, I would like people to rate it because then, at some point, I would like to maybe make $5.
You got to cover your ink expenses.
These lights ain't free, bitches. I think my Amazon guy thinks that, like, I'm shooting porns in here or something because I got some more lights for you, Kathleen. I'm like, thanks.
We're good.
Those other ones I bought were all fucked up, and I'm too lazy to package them back up, so they're just going to sit upstairs.
Totally.
This is where I need a child. I need one of the children. Because I already put these things up. They're on, I almost called it a totem pole. They're on
Poles.
tripods.
Not
Totem poles.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so if you could rate the Amazon special and the Pubcast. And also, we got the T-shirts on the website. The short sleeve ones are close to sold out. I don't know how many left. And then we're going to have a hat. Yep. But I'm not going to tell you what's on the hat.
Hat comes up next week.
Next week?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yep.
All right, termites. I have to take all this stuff downstairs. And then I have to, I have a secret show Wednesday, but I'm not saying where.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drivable?
I'm just part of one. No, it's, it's no big deal.
Okay.
But it'll be a fun thing. Because some of my old buddies will be there. Okay, that's all I got, termites. You are now springtime termites, even though it's still flipping cold everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. It won't be in Durham. I looked it up. It's going to be 80.
Oh, nice.
It's great. Be springtime termites. Get out there, get some sun. Mm-hmm. It's almost fishing time. If you're in fishing.
Ice fishing.
Well, I see these guys out here in bass boats on Saturdays, and I think they decided they were going fishing on Saturday, and come hell or high water, they're going. And the water is still freezing. I don't know what you're fishing for, but it ain't going to be bass.
Nope.
No. All right, termites, that's all I got. Ready?